Yo, what's going on, people? Oh, we're out here in northern Wisconsin right now, headed up to Lance. Got a load of mineral wool, I believe they call it. Use it to make ceiling tiles and all that good stuff up in Lance, and then we pull those out of there. But yeah, spring is upon us, and every time I'm out on a trip, which I consider from the time that I leave home until the time I come back to the house for home time, it seems like I get a different vibe off of every trip. And sometimes it's really positive, and it's like, oh, this is amazing the whole way through, and there's no points of what do you want to call it? I don't know a specific word for it or phrase for it, but there's no points of doubt or burnout, I guess you would call it. But sometimes you leave and you're like, God dang, this is just gonna be a bad trip the whole way through, and there's no point where I'm like, yeah, I'm done, we're hanging it up forever, I'm going back home to get a factory job or something. That's not happening ever, because I already lived that life. That's no good. But this last trip out has been very strange indeed, because I had the overall feeling of like a strange weirdness towards OTR. I don't know what it was that was making me sort of lean this way in my thinking. But it was man, it was kind of strange, because I'd be like, oh, I kind of miss being at home for whatever type of reason. I don't really understand why I was feeling that way, because once I would, pick my brain about it and be like, hey, why are you feeling like an idiot right now? And I was like, oh, you miss being at home, and that doesn't make any sense, because you're not really missing anything. But it also sparked a conversation in my head about, is OTR worth it? And I guess that's a personal debate in my head, whatever you want to call it, that I guess I'll share with y'all. I don't know. I guess I'm just crazy. I don't know if other people are like that, but I do that a lot, where I just start listing pros and cons in my head and talking back and forth like there's two people up there or something. You know how you got those cartoons where you got the the good guy on one shoulder, and then you got the devil on the other shoulder or whatever, and there's one of them's like, oh no, just go do that, it'll be fine, and the other one's like, no, you don't need to do that, just keep doing what you're doing, you're on the right track and all this. And I don't know, that's just how I kind of think about it. But yeah, is over the road worth it? And I'm going to tell you my overall conclusion straight up front, just because that's how I want to run this, is I think over the road is completely worth it. And keep in mind, I do no less than 3 weeks out. That's just against my beliefs as a driver. I don't think less than 3 weeks is long enough to actually submerge yourself in the over-the-road experience, because 2 weeks you're kind of you're kind of still regional almost. And there's nothing wrong with being regional, being gone for, let's just say Monday to Friday, and then being home for the weekend or what have you. There's nothing wrong with that. Or even being gone Monday to middle of Saturday, somewhere in there, and then being home the rest of Saturday and Sunday, and you're gone on Monday again. I mean, that's a little bit of a, I think that gets more to the point of why would you even do that to yourself? I don't know. I mean, this is all a personal thing, and like, I mean, I can't tell anyone what's right for them because I don't know who they are, but just to give y'all an idea of what I'm talking about here. I mean, I could see myself doing some regional stuff, maybe later on in my career or something like that. I could see that, but it would have to be, I don't know. I don't know if it would be real deal regional, like I'd just be running the Midwestern states and that's it, like just basically hauling steel everywhere. I mean, you see that all the time, and it seems to work for people. And I mean, I'm sure if I had a family or something to come home to, that it would definitely change my thinking. But yeah, for me, the overall vibe of Over the Road is very, very relaxed. Like, there's no points of, well, there's always a point of you need to, you know, keep it moving, and you're kind of under the gun on every load, and you gotta make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to make it places on time and stay set up the way that the load planners are setting you up for and all that. But it doesn't, I think it would be a whole lot tighter if it was like, if I was involved in the whole regional situation or a local situation, which I've been offered those jobs by my company, you know, more of a home every day or home every other day, and home on the weekend type of thing. And I mean, they were basically kind of the same thing that I'm doing now, flatbed, or worse, as I consider it. One of them was hauling cement, like dry cement, and yeah, I'm not interested in that. Like a dump trailer situation, nah, I'll pass on that. But you know, it's kind of nice that they're giving me options. You know, just kind of shows that they're interested in keeping their drivers around. You know what I mean? But yeah, the whole local thing is something that I will never do. That is strictly against my personal goals as a driver. I don't think like that would be a good retirement job, I think. Like if I had a situation set up where it was like, hey, you know, if you guys need, you know, such a thing moved wherever, and you know, maybe a couple hours every day, every other day, whatever, you know, whatever type of situation it is, you know, just let me know when you need that done. That would be okay, because I mean, I watched my dad live the local driver life for years and years and years, and when I think about the whole local situation, I think about how it was with my dad, and he was like either gone or sleeping. That was kind of how it was. It was real strange. Like gone by like 5 in the morning, home at like 6 at night, and then in bed by like 8 or 9 or whatever it was. I can't even remember, but yeah, there was not much time to be living. And I mean, of course, he was home on the weekend and all that. And I mean, it seemed like it was something that worked, because that was the only income coming into the house at the time, which is pretty impressive, I think. I mean, I guess it just worked, and you know, my parents must have done something a little crafty with their money or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's something that I am definitely not interested in as like a source of income, especially being as young as I am. I don't think that's a good idea at all. I mean, I know that being over the road doesn't pay like they say it used to, but I think that it still pays better than being a local driver, especially being, you know, that you could get hung up at shippers. And, you know, I've experienced all this where, you know, you're stuck at a shipper for 4 hours, and it's like, what happens then? I mean, obviously you get detention time and all of that, but like you're limited as to like how far you can go, and like if you're gonna run out of hours, like you got hung up, oh man, I gotta cut it short today, and I'm not gonna be able to run, you know, those last 4 hours on my 11-hour clock, and I just don't want to do that. That doesn't seem interesting to me. But I guess getting back to where I was originally, is missing whatever's going on back home worth it just to make, it's probably like 200 extra bucks a week or something like that. It's probably not that much, but that does add up over time. Let's keep that in mind, boys and girls. But is that worth it? And for me, as a single person with, you know, I don't got crazy bills or anything like that, but I've got a couple of them to pay, and I have goals in mind for where I want my life to go and stuff like that. The conclusion that I usually come to is this is the time to handle my business and to get you know, like a good base set to my life, so that the rest of my life does not have to be, you know, this whole running around and pinching pennies and like how are we gonna pay this bill, and how am I gonna, you know, do this, and oh man, I gotta pick up an extra shift or work an extra day out of the week or whatever. Like I am not interested in doing any of that, whichever sort of a path my life does end up taking. I'm not interested in any of that. So the overall conclusion that I come to is this is the time to grind and put it in, and it's going to make my life easier down the line. And also the thing about it is, like, you only get one life. So, like, I have no interest in making this one a hard one. Like, this is going to be a nice life. I'm going to live 100 years, whatever, and then I'm going to punch out, it's going to be over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to be done. And I don't really, like, it's not going to be a stressful, I'm working for, you know, the S-Class Mercedes that I got sitting in my driveway and I got a $500,000 house. No, it's not going down like that. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I think people get very caught up in the pursuit of money, and I mean pursuit of money is in like I need to have nicer stuff than the neighbors do sort of a way. Oh yeah, but yeah, the over the road thing. I think it definitely depends on what type of situation that people have. Like as I was saying before, there's no reason for me to be at home. I don't have anything there that's worth coming home for every night. I don't have anything there that's like I just can't stay away from. Like, I have to be there to, you know, drive my car, or like I need to be there to be able to like get off of work and go fishing or something. I don't know, but I think that could definitely change for other people. And obviously, you know, people just figure out what they want to do. Like like once you try something and it's like, okay, this doesn't line up with what I want to do, we're gonna switch gears and go into do, you know, whatever the heck fits that. And maybe the whole local thing is what people need to do, like people with a family or people that have they've just got hobbies that are, you know, incredibly important to them to be able to, you know, be home and participate in and all that stuff. I don't know. But yeah, that's my situation. I don't know what to tell you, but I mean, that's just the underlying theme of this little trip out that I've had. And I figured I might as well get the thoughts out of my head and put them out onto the internet, because, you know, that's what that's for. It'll get lost and someone will find it eventually one day, just looking for the bottom of the internet or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it right there, isn't it? So yeah, I am going to cut this one off, enjoy my little drive. Hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.